an interpellation on behalf of 21 deputies in which I would like to demonstrate how money is wasted which the state budget needs. The National Assembly has the duty to express its opinion concerning basic economic, political and cultural matters of our republic. We are convinced that the two films we have seen, and which should be released this month, show a road of our cultural life on which no honest worker, farmer or intellectual would like to embark. The two films, Daisies and The Party and the Guests, made in the Czechoslovak studios at Barrandov, have nothing in common with our republic, socialism or the ideals of communism. I therefore request the entire National Assembly to take up this situation and draw proper conclusions against all who prepared these films, and especially against those who were willing to pay for this trash. So, that was a response in 1967. I hope you don't agree with it after you've seen the film. Many of you will perhaps know the film. It was released here in the late 60s and has actually been more or less permanently available on 60mm. It's been shown in film societies and so on. But the extraordinary thing about it is it has a tremendous resonance. It still shocks people when they first see it. The opening night of the Chytilová season last Tuesday, the director or former director of the Prague Film School, Michal Bragant, said that whenever he showed the film to American students at the film school, they were completely shocked, didn't know how to take it. Either they'd never seen anything like it, basically. Equally, when they came to be taught by Věra Chytilová as students of direction, they were similarly shocked. So, okay, she has a reputation. I think I'd just like to say some fairly simple things about the film, because some of the things I would have said are in the program notes anyway. The film, I think, it doesn't have a normal narrative. It doesn't have the development of characters. It's really a sequence of episodes which are put together, it seems in some ways almost arbitrarily, in different styles and different emphases around. All of them are united, however, by the theme of destruction. The two girls in the film decide that the world is meaningless, therefore everything is permitted, and they go on a rampage, mainly exploiting rather older men who want to take them out, and also attacking food. This, I think, went down particularly badly with the authorities. They complained about the waste of food in the final scenes in this film, although I understand that when they were shooting the final scenes, they actually had to live with the sort of rotting food for days on end, so they didn't use a lot of food on that. I think one of the interesting things about the film is it's not only a film by Chytilová, I think it's also a film by her collaborator and screenwriter Esther Krumbáková and her cinematographer Jaroslav Kučera, who was also her husband. Kučera's work is actually featured in the exhibition outside in the atrium here, and I would certainly advise you to have a look at it if you haven't seen it already. What I think was interesting about the film is their collaboration. Krumbáková was well known as a writer, designer, costume designer, and had a tremendous influence on many Czech films of the late 60s, including The Party and the Guests, Chytilová's film The Fruit of Paradise, Valerie and her Week of Wonders, which is also quite well known. And she also directed her own film called The Engineer of Mr. Devil in 1970. Kučera is interesting as probably one of the most significant Czech cinematographers. He actually began his work in the late 50s, and he took the view that cinematography was not just something that should be an image of something, but something which could carry a meaning in itself. And this was one of the things he began to explore in Daisies, the notion that the image could have a meaning apart from illustration. He likened normal filmmaking to making a cake. He said it was a normal film was a cake, and the music was the icing on the cake, and everything was carefully integrated. He said, what about if these separate elements in the film have their own sort of identity, their own separation? So you have the notion here in the film of the cinematography, the design, the acting, the direction, the music, almost having a separate identity and interacting in new ways. And Chytilová said she defended her right to make a film any way she liked, and she also said that the audience should receive it any way they liked. And indeed, I think the right way to approach her work, and in particular Daisies, is to say, yes, the audience is as actively involved as the filmmaker. But whether it's Dadaist, surrealist, structuralist, or feminist, you can take your own interpretation. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the film. Thank you.